Hello and welcome live from Petawawa, Northern Ontario. No, I'm kidding. I'm actually in Quebec, but Mr. Petawawa is most likely watching. You're going to take the videos down, Mr. North Ontario? How's everyone doing? Welcome to the Bruce Sees All Research Channel, where I research and I have a few friends that come by and check out my research. But the few friends I have is an incredible community on this channel. And there they are. In order, Peter Benton. How's it going, brother? Hey, Bruce and all, we are back for the Late Show Q&A. Why not a Q&A? I mean, that's what we do all the time, but I said I'll put it in Q&A. And for those that don't know what Q&A means, do like me. Type in what does Q&A mean? Questions and answers. We have a lot of questions, but we do not have a lot of answers. Let's talk, guys and gals, and don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you so much. Thank you for not being racist, and thank you for staying away from the three-letter word war, because we're not allowed talking too much about it for now. I'm trying to design other platforms eventually to be able to talk about those things. I got caught on Rumble. Not allowed talking about that either there. Did you know that? Yeah, really concerning. Thank you so much, Peter Benton. Hello, Leah. Peter, thanks a lot, brother. Hey, Elios. Thanks, man. Hey, that was an awesome video, bro. Moi, j'aime ta pensée, man. C'est le fun, bro. Tu vas avoir une belle petite chaîne avec des bons petits vidéos. À un moment donné, avec le monde allume. Montréal, j'avais pensé que j'aurais eu plein de monde de Montréal, mais c'est tranquillement pas vite. J'ai trouvé. Puis j'en ai une couple d'autres. Excusez-moi 2 secondes, la gang. Excuse me 1 second, everybody. Keep forgetting whether I'm in English or French. So it's important when you're on YouTube and you have a YouTube channel, obviously not to tell people where you live, and especially not to write it in the comment section. And in reality, most of the trolls that have attacked my channel, I know their addresses, and there's nothing I can do with it because posting someone's address online is illegal. My goal is not to post people's addresses. But Ace, something happened at one point. I talked to you all about Petawawa, a certain base in Petawawa, Ontario, right? And Ace got mad. And a couple of days after that, a police officer from Ontario, the OPP police, came by. I had referenced a post that Alex Jones had posted about Petawawa base and, what was hiding there, which I won't mention because it's illegal, both to speak and also what they were doing there. And Ace of Space got scared, sent me an email saying that his family was in danger. This is a nut, by the way, person harassing me, Ace of Space. When that happened, the police came here 3 days after, and Ace of Space told me he was going to send police officers to my house and that his family was in peril. When the police officers arrived for real, I asked them what the hell they wanted. They took my license down. They asked me my name. And 2 days after that, Ace of Space in his comment section, my home address started appearing on his own channel. Also, people in my surroundings, even in my town here that I know, names are starting to pop up because they were sort of illegally trying to do that. So just to let you know, Ace, the fact in Northern Ontario, Petawawa, the mistake that you did to admit that you were living there, we all know now. So hopefully you'll take down my videos after this. If not, well, I'll have more surprises for you, big boy. And that's it with Ace today. Sammy M, thank you so much for being here. Hey, guys, I choked on my spit when I finished with you. Must have been some black magic or some voodoo someone was trying to do. Maybe, you never know. I'm so hated. And when I got off, I'll probably do it again now. I choked on spit. But I choked on spit for so long. It was about 1 minute and 20 seconds. And I wasn't able to regain any air. And here I just did a stream telling everybody about chemtrails and the chemtrail program and the pesticides in the sky. Wouldn't that have been funny? Everything's funny. Shiny future for us. Thank you. Or for US. I think it's for both, for US and for us. Thank you very much, Shiny Future. Hello to you. And to newcomers that take the time to come by the channel, greatly appreciate it. Third Ish, Lazarus Project. Thank you so much. Elias Barnes. It's not, you know how the parents are always really, sometimes we're strict, more strict than usual with our kids because sometimes it's important to scare our kids, right? Well, Ace is going to be concerned when people start talking about where he lives because there's nothing illegal that I did. He posted it in the community, wherever he posted it, and I saw it, and that's it. So it's too bad. Whether he's from there or not doesn't matter. The fact the police came to my house, if they come back, well, then he's going to have a lawsuit on his ass for sure because I don't fuck around with that, right? It's my life, and trying to destroy someone's life. As much as I've had too much fun with the attacks, honestly, I've had too much fun with it. And the attention, someone who likes attention, like moi, well, enjoyed the attention. So that's how it is. But then it just got evil, got into pedophilia and stuff. And then Bruce is abusing handicapped kids. Take it easy. Take it down a notch, Jerry Ace boy. Third Ish is still greatly appreciated. Kathleen Katz, Matthews, Garaher, how are you doing this evening? Hello to you. Merci encore, Leos. Thanks again, Peter. You rock, brother. Love you more, man. Thanks, Lazarus Project. I've met a lot of people just in the past few months recently here. Even though there's no activity on the channel, there are some people that are reaching the channel, and it still happens often enough that somebody says, and I love the comments. One guy commented, said, Bruce, I highly doubt that I'm the only commenter here, but hello, love your channel, just arrived. Thank you for sharing this incredible video. No comments. It takes a little time sometimes for comments to come in. More and more. And again, I was having these problems as 6 years ago, but now with the suppression, some people are being suppressed quite simply for talking about war and stuff. So, that's another thing, which I'm very careful talking about here, but I admit I have many slips on many things that I'm not going to be afraid to talk about. If the government ever silences people to stop talking about certain things, is because they're doing something bad and it has to be exposed. So I talk. I have a big mouth. That they said in school. Big mouth. Always talking. Gotta listen. Nope. I talk. La 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 la. I talking. All this to be able to keep a smile, but I have to admit, I cannot hide it. There is definitely a God, and there's definitely somebody watching over us. And sometimes when we least expect it, we get that little answer back. Greetings to you too, Genesis Revelation. Awesome channel name. Thanks for being here. Cam, how are you doing? Casa Nostra. Hey, Darla. Sorry for sounding overexcited. What do you know what? I get excited as much as I used to get excited when I first started streaming, when I saw just 10 people appear in the community. You're like, wow, that's 10 people. Because back in the day, right, the kid, not the young kids of today, but us, lots of us, most of us, before the internet was here, like way before, somebody that had 10 friends every day was somebody pretty popular. 10, some had 30, 40, 50, but you can't see them all, right? But on the internet, I can meet hundreds of people a day. So it is incredible for that. I've always appreciated that for sure. It's like I never got used to that, because in reality, it's like being on television. You can have access to any tools around you to make people laugh, to make people cry, to make people love you, to make people hate you. You have total access and freedom in that to be able to do what you want on YouTube, except show moon stuff. But when you come up with something incredible, well, I used to have the need that wanting to be on television when I was young. That was something when I was really young. I wanted to be an actor. And yeah, and that didn't work. But it's not that it didn't work. It's that we have dreams, we all want to be G.I. Joe sometimes. Doesn't mean we're going to be. But we have access to being able to make an episode as good as any documentary you've ever seen on television. So do I have respect for those people that make documentaries? Is there any jealousy in it? No, 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 no. Some people go all out. The music is just perfect. The voice is perfect. They get, scenes perfect to try to go and touch someone. It's what I always try to do when I'm making a moon video or whatnot. And we have access to be able to reach people, but it's being held back. It's too bad. It would be incredibly awesome that if somebody typed in UFO videos, that you pop up all mixed up, like Pentagon, Bruce, Peter Benton, Lazarus Project, all these channels that we talk about space all show up, but it doesn't. It's sort of like favoritism, sort of the way YouTube works, eh? And of course, well, YouTube is American, so I always thought this, I could be totally wrong, but I assume YouTube would have encouraged and boosted a lot of the American channels first, obviously, because I see some American channels with a lot of views, but the content is not always the best. I'm no professional, but in general, I try to make some nice videos, but the content, sometimes people get millions of views. It's not always good content. Sometimes the videos are ridiculous. Sometimes they're breathtaking, but Cosmic Black, thanks a lot. And thanks so much for taken time to become a member and for taking the time to comment in the community. I really appreciate that. Teddy Rose, how's it going? Good to see you too. Sending love back, my friend. Hey, 10-4, Lazarus Project. I'm telling you, I'm just on the border of Ontario. Like, it's really not far for me to get to Ontario, to cross over, and all my family's there. I've always, I actually have you ever heard of the Bruce Peninsula? Got family there too. Kitchener, Ontario. Waterloo. I do that because I bought some of my first equipment that I had bought was in Kitchener at a place called Henry's, but they moved. They could still be there. It was a very big store, but they moved in Toronto, so I can order from there now because I have family there too. Family all around the globe. I have some family in Jamaica, also living in Jamaica there permanently. So I had some in Texas at one point. They're not there anymore, but yeah. A lot of family members that I don't get a chance to see very often. I've only seen maybe 2-3 times. Family lives pretty much around the globe. Vancouver, a whole bunch of places. BC. What's the good word, Bruce? I'm back for round 2, brother. Brian, we're back. I'm going to try to answer some of the comments like which is normal. I was talking. It's a live stream, but I love answering your comments, guys. And honestly, there's a lot of comments I missed the last stream, so I want to take a chance to answer maybe some comments people have. Sometimes maybe you want to know an opinion that I have an opinion on anything. I should have done a prediction evening. I'd like to try that. I don't know if it sounds silly, but I've always wanted to do these tests, honestly. Yeah, that's ridiculous maybe, but each person that gets here, I want to try to see if I can mention something about you that's personal without you necessarily responding back, because pretty much all my life, the people that I was very close to, and sometimes just the first encounter, I was able to come up with a lot of incredible, I call them feelings. I don't know why that happens. Somebody's sad. If I meet somebody that's very sad inside, I feel it. And I'm not talking about body language. Sometimes the connection happens like right away. Sometimes it doesn't. A couple of summers ago, not really ready to talk about this, but maybe I will soon. But some things happened to me when I was doing some long exposure photography with strobe lights, red, blue, green lights, candles and stuff. I was trying to do some tests with the long exposure for those of you that know a little bit about it. For example, if you want to take a picture of the moon in detail, and you could, change the aperture, you could put it for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, to take a long exposure shot. It's going to give you a lot of detail in the image. And once I was doing a photo of my face because I wanted a picture of my face in long exposure with a red in a red room. So I went into the red room, guys, and I made it red with the lights because I like photography. This is, of course, it's not because I did this one night because I want to do it. I do photography. I did photography before I started here. Hundreds and if not thousands for sure of images. Oh yeah, many thousands of images actually of nature, bees, ants, birds, bees drinking out of flowers, and even ants with their heads completely submerged in water drops and flower petals. I was infatuated about that, and getting close-ups and macro of leaves, and I have a good way of taking photos, and a very unique way of having some very out of this world angles. I'm very good at the angles of an image, and the whole ideal of a photographer is solely the angle. If you're able to get a good angle, no matter what you take a picture of, whether it be a stop sign or a cornfield and a corner of a building properly done. I won't get too much into that, but long story short, we're doing long exposure. Just wanted a background of me like this, looking downwards, right? I looked younger. I was more handsome. And I'm looking downwards. The long exposure is going. But as the long exposure photos are being taken, these are the first tests I was doing. I had lights on two wheels that were turning and blinking. And I wanted to do tests with the long exposure to see how a blinking light that's turning in a circle would appear at long exposure. I got so scared by the things I started seeing in the images, and I'm telling you, I really got scared. I started seeing shapes, crosses and stuff, of course, and I'm not talking just refraction of light there, but obviously that's the ideal of it. With the long exposure shot, I have one that has cross on the bottom of it, and it was me, my head downwards. The cross appeared. I didn't expect the cross to appear, but anyways, with that light turning, and the picture came out with me beside a cross. So that was cool. It ended there. But then I said, no, I'm going to do another one. When I did the other long exposure shot, something happened to the camera. Camera started taking pictures. It's a function. It's on the camera. Okay. I mean, it's a function that I can have the camera taking several pictures. I don't know if that was my Fuji film at that moment, the 1000 millimeter lens. Whew. Started taking pictures of me in long exposure, again with the lights all rotating around, but the camera started taking a whole bunch of pictures, and I said, fuck, it ruined the long exposure shot. So I started staying there like that, and then I was trying to make this impressive monster appearance face. So I go down and I look into the camera and I open my mouth and I went like just my mouth open. And anyways, I have the image. I've never posted it. It's horrifying. Okay. What it did is that, of course, it's long exposure. Could be coincidence. When you say a picture of the devil, guys, it was so horrifying seeing my face with big, long cheeks and pointy ears, teeth and everything. I was, where the hell did this all come from? And I'm trying to imagine my teeth moving from the long exposure and stuff. So what I did in that long exposure, I also did tests in long exposure, moving my head left and right, forward and backwards. And it actually recorded all the movements. You understand? You can make some nice photography with the long exposure. But I'm telling you, I saw a devil's face appear, and it wasn't me. It scared the shit out of me. And it was horrifying. You can't explain it. Like, my face could have distorted and looked like the Elephant Man. I get it. No, it was a perfect movie devil. And then because I was in the red room, I didn't like it that the red face and everything was horrifying. It looked like I was the devil, guys. It was horrifying. So here's where it ended. I turn on the light because as it's off, I'm looking at the image and I just see this devil image. Holy shit. So actually, I shouldn't say that. But anyways, I go and turn on the light. And when I turned on the light in the corner of my house, there was a bat. It could be coincidence too. But now try to imagine how the bat was flipping out when I was doing the strobe light. Where the hell did the bat come from? Well, you're going to say, obviously, it came from outside. There's no other solution. I don't have any holes or any except for little rain holes. I don't think the bat's going to go through those. But it happened, and the bat was in the house. Ran for half an hour in the house, flipping out when I just a dumbass. I opened the door and I went, and it went outside. Duh. Running up into my room, guys. Run up into my room. Tell my son, lock your door. There's a bat in the house. So I run into the room with him. We slam the door, and then I turn around and the freaking bat's in the room. Go into my room. Leave my son there. Go into my room. Close my door. Grab a blanket and start going downstairs, calling the bat. And he's landing on my head, guys. It was funny, but it scared the hell out of me. Doing long exposure shots, seeing the devil's face, and that week I had spiritual encounters. I don't know if you guys believe me or not, but I'm going to be honest because I know some of you will. The ghosts that I have here make noises and they move objects, and that's a strong spirit. I guarantee you it's a strong entity. Did nothing bad, but there was a lot of movement. So I had to share that. I mean, hey, Ozark Mike, thank you so much. Hi, Bruce. Do you see a correlation with the increase of UFO activity and what is going on Earth? Absolutely. Ozark, thank you so much. I'm going to talk to you about that in 1 second. Elias, thanks, bro. Thanks, Elias. Elias Barnes, I appreciate that very much. Thanks for the generous contributions, guys. Ozark, that's an amazing question. I think it totally has to do with what's going on Earth, and not only about the UFO disclosure and the UFO reports. I think it has to do with that thing that we're not supposed to talk about, the V and the C. The first 2 weeks before they put us on lockdowns, the sky was infested here. And when we were locked down, the sky stopped here for 3 months. We did not see any lights whatsoever. I was really fascinated about that. Once we had gotten over the curve, that expression, that saying that we heard so often, the lies that they were telling us about the curve, and once they said the curve was down and people were a bit more free to roam around, the lights really started coming back. So I honestly wondered, Ozark, if, like, imagine if it's Space Force. I'm being honest. Imagine it's Space Force people, or Russia or China, or Canada now, France and UK on the way, that are doing secret projects, and that they're going to and from Earth in a higher level than the lower orbit, probably somewhere between Earth and the moon, or maybe a lot before the moon. We're talking maybe, I don't know, 30,000 kilometers in the air. How will we see them? Probably not. To do some testing. I mean, Ozark, we have, thanks again, Elias, we have 6 or 7 satellites that will be going up this year. 8 satellites, actually, I think. This is national security satellites. They're going to be going up. For the military, they're going to have a defense of some type, or it's the defense themselves that's setting up a satellite. National security with the satellite, GPS satellites. They said at the UFO report, they're really going to start trying to find out what those UFOs are, and they really want to try to find out if they can catch a UFO, which is actually very, very exciting. It'll never give you anything sharing your spiritual encounters online. It'll never give you anything. What it's going to do is that the surprising number of people that have the exact same experiences that never admit it because they're afraid of it, it helps them. And I've heard some people admit certain things that reassured me that talking about some of these things, it's a very controversial subject when you talk about spirits and encounters. It's too easy for people to be frauds. I admit it. It's too easy for someone to be a bit smarter than the next person, and maybe, try to start pretending that he knows a whole bunch of shit and stuff. Me, when I know stuff, it's never me that goes and finds it. It's something that has followed me, and it was after my father and grandfather's death, and that those beings twice told me that I was going to be okay. That's the only words they said, guys. And it would make sense that, imagine if I was in an event. This is theoretical. Imagine something happens, an end time, where I have a spiritual encounter, and I remember this spirit telling me everything's going to be okay. Maybe that's just so I do the right decision at that very moment. Not everybody believes in a destiny. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe destinies can be changed, and a lot of people don't. I for one, I believe in the theory that destinies can be changed, that there's already a destiny or path set out for you, but that if you want to deviate from that path, you'll sink in a swamp, but you can still deviate it. Maybe you'll survive. That's how I look at it. Thanks again, Cosmic Black. Awesome. Teddy Rose, you guys, thanks for coming back. Pennsylvania. Yes, sir. Want me to try you? You're a person. Very little things. I'll do it for people that ask me. And what I do, Lazarus Project, is that I have no choice but basing my assumptions or premonitions or intuition on the name of your channel, because it's very taking. Like if all of you had blank icons, it would be a lot harder for someone picking up on vibes. But things like channel names or maybe family names or certain things, sometimes people can pick up more. If I was to guess, but at the same time, it's not really a guess. It's my only intuition that I have on you is a tiny thing. It's that before your parents were even talking to you about, and it should be personal, before your parents or friends or anyone or were even talking about spirits and spirituality, you saw something when you were playing with insects when you were young. And it doesn't have to be that day you were playing with insects. It could have been a hot day. It was definitely a hot day. You were with two friends, possibly, and you guys tried something. There could have been a girl there. And when you tried something, you guys saw something. But this is a long time ago. And it was basically sort of joking. But I feel that your life from there on, you were always a person that were able to find out things a bit deeper than other people. But again, that's the vibe I'm picking up, because your channel is deep and you talk about deep things. So that's the vibe I picked up. But in reality, it's not a prediction, right? It's a very good analysis, maybe, of someone. But I feel that you've had many spiritual encounters, especially when you were young, and even some that you probably never even mentioned. And I have an odd feeling that your parents weren't necessarily into spirituality, but were religious. That's the only thing I can feel. I like doing those tests. It's like taking an IQ test 60 times to try to up your IQ, try to get better all the time. And the most beautiful part is that you could be a person that never saw any spirits or that never had any friends that had spiritual encounters, but it's what I feel. And I tend to feel that a lot of people here right now, I bet you at least 10 of you can relate just to what I just said about Lazarus Project. I bet you there's very similar situations, maybe even in your own lives. The good word is have faith that there is a higher being and that we will be saved. Can't read the Bible too much because they say we're all going to die and only 144 are going to be chosen. And it started off by the chosen. I was curious. Let's see what the chosen have. Let's see how many characteristics I can have of the overcomers. Another word that people use for the 144,000 people that God is going to a second time reconsider. That's what I like about God. I tell people all the time, I'm off on the rant now. Maybe he's thinking of me. I feel that God is a very funny character. A very tricky fellow, if I was to guess about God, and very fierce, to be feared, and doesn't fuck around at all, is how I see him. Doesn't give chances, sees through bullshit, Um, people have different representations of God, and he's supposed to come down. His name's supposed to change, they say. Okay. Supposed to come down like a thief in the night. And did you know that in the Bible it says he's coming down as a human? What do you think of that? I bet you already 6 of you are saying no. And I bet you 3 of you are looking up right now to find out it is so. God is to come down in the flesh and like a thief in the night. So that would mean that God would be blending in with humans. So God would be a human. And of course, he'll be ridiculed. He'll be laughed at, right? His son was laughed at and ridiculed, if you believe in that story. And it fascinates me as to how he's going to come down. I mean, what, like a dragon? It's sort of cool when you think he's going to come down to like really, probably going to scare the hell out of us. Well, actually, yes. Yes. That's well said. God will scare the hell out of you. That's well said. Get it? Scare the hell out of you. It was supposed to be a joke, but I'm sure God's a comedian. If we were created in his image, wow, I'm thinking of him today. If we were created in his image, I'm talking about him in a fun way, though. I'm not referencing any, Bible passages, which does help, though, sometimes when you reference them, because, the Bible's sort of like a book written about the future, eh? Sort of like a book of premonitions where the destiny is explained in the Bible, but you don't have to walk along that path. It's scary. It's like you have a choice, right? Take the high road or the low road. Either way, pretty sure both roads will lead to Rome, but hey, and there I went again talking too much, 8:40, and I didn't answer anyone. So am I, Ed. Fed up. But if we're really fed up, brother, it's because good things are coming and things are going to change. Elias Barnes, hello again to you. Aces, you're watching. You're a stained dude. Leave the guy alone. Thank you, Ed. Thank you so much. Yeah, it gets annoying. It gets really, really annoying. But you see, these people expose their families, right? They do all these stupid things, Like imagine if his father was at the base or something in Petawawa in a lab or something, or doing work there or something, and that he found out what his son was doing. If his whole family found that out. I have a lot of capabilities of doing a whole bunch of things in life, and I decide and I choose to do some good. I've always given the chances to the trolls. I've always given them chances. I don't have to. I can really take down their videos in reality, but they should find some love in their heart. Mary Joan Hill. If I had your address, we could have had some coffee. You don't need my address to have some coffee? I can go meet you. This is the Bat Cave. There's 3 people here with me, but they're tied in the basement. My mom's going to call me about that one tomorrow. But why would you say that? I don't know. Ace of Spades with a twisted. Yes. Oh, yes. Hey, guys, here's something funny, though. Imagine if the devil, Satan, the one who's dead, because I killed him many times. I'm the person who killed Satan. Did you know that? Imagine if Satan was a person like Ace, though, where he wasn't very tall and had a hairpiece and had a small voice. Hello, everybody. I'll be talking about Bruce All and his supposed biological creatures, as he likes to say. Welcome, everyone. Thank you to all 49 of you for stopping by to the channel. Anyways, I could get into it so deep, but I don't even remember why I was talking about him. Yes. Imagine if the devil was a short runt. Because I saw Ace in 5 Foot of Snow the other day, and you can't even see him. So imagine the devil's voice is just this little runt's voice saying, like, you get down to hell, and you see this big ass chair, and you're looking in the center of the chair, and you see this little walnut guy sitting there going, "You are here because you sold your soul to the devil." You're like, "You're the devil?" It's like, okay. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to laugh at the devil. So small. Ah, too funny. Ace is gonna try to make me joke on my spit again. I shouldn't be laughing about that. HOB. Yo, Bruce, Harry, and Callie in the house. Thank you so much. I'm having so much fun here. I love Canadian all people. It's the government I question. Same here, Lazarus Project. Canadians are amazing people. They are. I know some bad Canadians, like I know bad Americans. Like I think, honestly, I think we all know that each of our cultures and each of our countries have bad people, good people. Everyone has that. Guys, do a test. No matter what country you are in, I know that old lady you see once every 2-3 weeks, maybe every day that goes by. It's been going by for years that your mother's been talking about. She always goes by. Maybe she feeds the birds. There's the same person in every town. It's a matrix. You go to one town, it's like you left your town, and it's like it's your town with different people doing the same things. Anyways, it really is funny. Sometimes I really wonder if we're not living in the matrix. I really believe that now. Thanks, Darla. 100% what I pass often about with clear proof. Kathleen, Bruce, you should check out that cop who came to your house, hon. I would. No way of knowing. It was Ontario Provincial Police. He came and asked me a question. So obviously, that person from the Ontario Provincial Police was a friend of Ace's. But you see, that there, guys, I'm really smart on certain things. So possibly they could have some military police in his family, could have some of his family members working at Petawawa, Northern Ontario, whatever. See, they reveal themselves by attacking, and there's always stuff that comes up. So I have nothing that I did illegally, and I will go to Petawawa because it's a base I want to visit, and I'll go to Ontario when I damn please. That's for sure. Ontario police aren't going to keep me in Quebec. Oh, fuck that. I mean, think of it. Coming to my house, guys, went in my yard with the ass of my car towards the garage, looked at my license, took the number of the plates, asked me if it was my car, asked me who lived in the house with me, asked me if I had any guns. Right there, like standing up my balcony. Hi, I'm Ontario Provincial Police. Do you have any guns in your house? If I do, ain't gonna tell you shit stain. Do you have a warrant? It's like, do you have a warrant? I showed him my machete. I said, I got a machete. That'll do the job. I don't know. I have no idea why I was here. I asked where he was from. Ontario Provincial Police. What the hell? I said, that's not Ontario Provincial Police. That's Sûreté du Québec. So a guy from Sûreté du Québec Police from Montreal came to my house for the Ontario Provincial Police that wanted to know. But don't forget, I have a troll hacker agent that was hacking me and is still following me. He's in the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. So I do have a lot of people in contact with me and following me and even threatening me online, but they're all trying to do it indirectly. And me, the goal was to scare me so I'd shut up. So what I started doing, I started coming on talking about them. I found the person, the Royal Mounted Police, there, by the way, found the guy that was following me. He also went to the radio station, guys. I had a radio interview. That police officer was on the phone with me, was presented to me at the radio station. What do you guys think of that? My troll here, when I went to do a radio station in Quebec radio interview, okay, even though I was here on the phone, I was supposed to do it from my computer, but they said the computer connection didn't work. So they had to do it from the telephone, right? But that guy was there. So if you were here in the last stream, like I told people, all my trolls that attack me, when I go on all of your channels, the ones I follow, they're all there. and they're communicating and interacting with you, and you guys don't know it because it's just good people. Trolls, when they act nice, you're going to welcome everyone that comes to your channel. You don't just have that to do all day trying to sort around the trolls. But a lot of stories, a lot of fun that happened on the channel, and no regrets because I have some amazing supporters here. And the next video will be a good one too, on the moon and a couple of things. We're back to, if you have not seen my UFOs yet, the next video, we're going to see more UFOs. We're talking about a bit of terraforming. We're looking and talking about water near Clavius crater and water distributing itself over the surface. Maybe there could be vegetation growing around where the water's growing. It could be a moss. It could be a type of moss or grass or whatever is growing. We have no idea. People can laugh all they want because we don't know half of what's on our own earth. We don't know half of the vegetation that's on earth. We like not even a quarter of it. Can you name all the countries in the world? I can't. Right? I've seen them. I've seen a list. It's over 200. Just that boggled me because I think everyone here can name like 20 or 30, including me. And then after that, well, you know, there's all these names. There's even some countries that are not considered countries, but they're country names. It's very, very odd. Hello, Mr. Rollins. Hey, dude, here with my buddy Trevor Williams and Buddy. Thanks a lot. Hope you have a great stream tonight, sir. Keep those eyes peeled. Will do, Trevor. UFO video coming right up after this, my friends. We're going to talk about the moon and get a good video up about the moon. I was waiting to do this stream first, and I will definitely get that up right after this. Awesome, man. Appreciate it. You never have to shush here, brother. Let loose, let loose. Cosmic Black, thanks again for being here. Took me 5 minutes to make a comment the other day. Was screwing with me live. Sorry to hear about that, and thanks for letting me know that. It has happened. It's never happened that, like, you know, members disappear and like they can't come back, but it's happened once or twice, yes. And some of the trolls sometimes you know, affect people that give contributions by ridiculing them and saying you're an idiot to support a fraud and stuff. He's not going to do anything with the money. He already spent it. Bruce's videos are already up about the money that he spent. You should see his boats and you should see this and that. I promise when I get a boat, I'll bring you and we'll make a video. But you see, that's the difference. I wouldn't have assumed that if 2-3 years time I decide to buy a boat and it's a $1,500 boat or $2,000 boat because I want to go fishing when I'm 55, trolls are going to be upset. Look at him, the fucker's buying yachts. No, it's a fishing boat with 6 patches in it. But that's how it is. That's how people are. Charlene, thanks you guys for coming back. Norma C, thank you, Norma C. Thanks for appreciating my big mouth. And thanks also, Norma C, for the generous contributions, the mail, and everything. I appreciate it. I love you for it. Dick and Roscoe show. Thanks so much, bro. Thanks again, man. Bruce is all, please grace me with an answer. With pleasure. How many types have you logged? How many types have you logged as being different craft and models? Yes, maybe. Oh, Dick and Roscoe show. Easy for me to say that. That's a hell of a good question. Since I can never say that I've seen a craft, except for what I believe the one that came down to the house still can be a UAP though. Shapes of craft mixed in with debris also, I would say cigar shaped, out of control, spiraling towards the moon. I've not seen them on a straight trajectory though. For real. In general, all I've ever seen every time I'm filming it are lights. They're really lights. I've not many videos, if not any at all. Well, listen, I caught what I thought was a dark night. You guys can see it. It's in the video and stuff. But aside from that, lights, UAP lights, flashes in the sky. And of course, my favorite, the rectangle or square. I've seen it. I've filmed it. Rectangle or square. But The rectangle you could see by bringing the exposure down and adjusting it. It's not a square, big like Jeremy Corbell's triangle that was going in the sky, right? Even though it's not his triangle, it was the Navy, but nonetheless. Lisa, thank you so much. I love you. Thanks, you guys. So in general, that's a hell of a good question, Trevor. That's a really good question. The lights that I've seen, different shapes. The one that looked like Oumuamua, but it hit the moon, so it was out of control. So it could be just debris. Even debris didn't have much shape. Debris really looked like pieces, sort of 90-degree angle pieces. Oh my gosh. Some of you must be wondering when was I going to talk about it? Of course, several times, a dark triangle. Can't believe I was forgetting that. I have the video up several times. Dark triangles. I filmed the dark triangle going by the sun. It was a spacecraft. It was a triangular shape. If it's debris, it was sure fast and on a straight trajectory. I confirms having seen an isosceles black triangle on the moon, 50 of them, stationary along the Terminator line, always there. They're not shadows, because you could see the depiction of the angles and the difference of the surface from that object. So I did see a triangle go by. In general, what I've seen are spiraling lights that get bright and dim and fizz out. And I was even able to film 3 leaving in the sky, not going by, but leaving. And you know what? I'm happy, because if I would have said that I caught over 75 types of UFOs and stuff, I probably would have had even more trouble with people believing me. I'm sorry again, Cosmic Black, that happened. Do let me know. Do not be shy. Even a community member here, they're all trustable. You can tell them there's a problem. How can I reach Bruce or something? And they have a key, and they'll send you to the home, and we'll take care of you guys. I agree. Tree Lambda Delta, I thank you very much. I remember you. I don't know who you are, but I remember you. I don't look. Could be a kid, could be an adult, but I get vibes from certain people. And I know some of you are watching over me, and I've only heard that recently. But you've been around a bit longer. Hope you're a good one. You guys know a lot about me. Thank you. Truth is coming, Tree Lamps of Delta, is what I feel. Truth is coming. Using a humor to respond to trolls is a really good strategy. Thank you very much, Norma C. I appreciate it very much. And of course, it's disappointing sometimes when they do that several times, but the laughter is a must. If not, I would look a little silly just ignoring it. I find that's just for me. I know a lot of you say you should just ignore it, but I'm not doing anything wrong by posting in a post. I don't put up videos of Ace of Space. I talk about him on the stream when he attacks and stuff like that, which is totally legitimate. But he has a chance again. I told him, you're in Ontario and stuff. You don't want people exposing who you are and stuff. Well, you should go back to doing your own little thing, doing your own research and stuff like that, and get a boyfriend. I'm doing very good, Cam. Thank you so much. What is the so-called dark side of the moon hiding from us? That's a good one, brother. I tell you what, man, it's hiding a very sunny surface, because in reality, it's on the side of the sun. But, guys, it is a side that we can't see. So I believe, what would you think if I said maybe the more modern structures or higher structures? If I was to guess the Lazarus Project, I would guess that the structures are a lot higher on the dark side. And again, I'm just analyzing, common sense, because it's not facing Earth. But then again, it's facing elsewhere. another planet, maybe they wouldn't want to show that either on the other planet. Maybe they really are inside the moon, or like the structures are so elevated, but with libration and the optical illusion, because of two moving celestial objects, when on Earth an observer is observing a moving planet and moving himself, there's an optical illusion. There's a bending of light, and everything is going to look like it's lying down on the ground. So high rising objects are going to look like they're really pressed up on the surface, but in reality, on Earth's side, there's a lot of high rising structures, like towering objects. I don't know if they're necessarily communication towers or not, but it remains very, very interesting. That was a good question. Wanted to be Barbie. I hear you. I wanted to be Ken, but it didn't work. I got his hair color. I'll be right back. Anyone want a coffee? So if the cops want to play around and come back here, well, it'll be a lot of advertisement for Petawawa. So highly doubt that they will. Highly doubt they will. Ouch. Man, I appreciate it. You guys are my only energy. Nobody understands me. Versus maybe I am hard to understand. But those of you that have known me for a long time, you know that I'm straight pipe. You know, I don't have a racist bone in me. And we were all held back from being able to talk about certain things. That was a real challenge for us. A lot of blacks and whites started fighting, right? Like the real racist ones. I'm not talking about us, but some racist people. All cultures are racist, guys. White, black, pink, purple, blue. I don't even have to talk about black and whites. We'll talk about purples and blue people. That's a new term I'm going to start using now. Not to insult anyone, because I get it. I'm not racist for 2 cents. But some people are. Some people really are. I taught my kid when I was young not to be racist because it's disgusting. It's not that I'm looking for an excuse. It was a common sense. It became natural to him also. And my son had a tendency in school of hanging out with people that were colored, because not because they didn't have friends, it's because they were more separated from, I mean, listen, you go to school with 600 white guys and you're a black person. I can only imagine me being a white person going to school with 600 black people. I will be the best musician by the end of that year. No, it's not racist. Stop it. Black people are good musicians. Hell, they are. Brian Wirt says, I think it's more of what Bruce shows us on the visible side, and perhaps that could be old craft of prior civilizations. That's very interesting, guys. Yeah, we could have some old civilizations up there too, but I'm telling you, there's a lot on Earth's side. It's right there in front of us, and they added lies. What they needed for lies, thanks, Darla. What they needed for the lies is they had to come up with the ejecta thing, saying possibly the meteors hit. Well, yes, but why are the floors so soft and straight in the center of the craters and all the same height? Well, it's normal, because as the meteor hit the craters and were formed, well, all that gushing lava and everything was coming up. It had the time to settle really calmly before it dried and cooled. And then they say, yeah, but what are all the pieces around the craters? Look at all those giant objects up and down. Well, that's spray. What happens is when a meteorite hits and causes the crater, everything that's propelled into the air becomes volcanic glass, and it's green because the oxygen is trapped inside of it. So it immediately forms a solid structure and then flies to the ground, dry, and a big formation. I heard every possibility of what they said on the moon, but when I went up to look with my telescope, it took me a week, and I said, no. Here's what I love hearing. You see people say, this is so-and-so crater, You can see here, it looks, it almost looks like a building, but anyways, it goes up, has a flat surface, but that's because it cooled. And yeah, that's a crater. You're looking at something that's not round. There's no holes. There's pipes and stuff coming out of areas, and you're like, what the hell? No, that's pixelation. It's not pixelation. Everybody knows what a pixel is. A pixel only has a few shapes. It's a square. Someone will say, no, it's like a Tetris. It's an L. It's two friggin' squares together. A pixel's a square. The closer you zoom into your screen, and you guys, most of you know it, you could zoom in 20,000 times, and your pixel's still only going to be as big as a pencil point there. When you see somebody with pixels that big, well, stop zooming in. There's a different problem, but it's easy. It's easier from it's as easy for me to scrap an image with my 14-inch scope, wanting to be too greedy and wanting to get in close. Why? Hey guys, look how close I am. Man, we can't see frig all. Everything's shaky. Sometimes you got to back up. A lot of you appreciate when I get really close, like I like it, but you all also ask me, well, now Bruce, okay, zoom out so we can see properly. When you zoom in, you can see the little detail. It's never easy and it's not pleasant. If you're looking at my videos on a telephone, you're not going to enjoy the videos, that's for sure. You got to look at it on a screen and turn those lights off and stop looking, stop sitting in front of the window when the sun's coming in and going like this to look at the UFOs like that. Don't do like me. Clean your screens, because if not, you'll see sunspots or UFOs everywhere in all my videos. Chinese rover are on the dark side. Yes, sir. They're on the dark side, and it's supposed to be going back, brother, too, on the moon, and they don't talk about it. Yep, it is a strange. Yeah, and don't forget, China bragged about having seen, they call it the hut. There's the house, the structure, the square, and they never talked about it. They were but 216 bloody feet from it. They said they were going to take 3 lunar days, a month, about a month, to get closer to find out if it's really a structure. Not a word. And every time I kept mentioning it here, people were like, no, brah. No, it's like the trolls appear out of nowhere, like they know this. No, brah. I've been coming to these live streams for over 4 years now. Absolutely. Chris, did you email me? I did not see it. And if you did, same freaking story. I don't know what to tell you guys. It's like you're disappearing. I did not see you. And if not, it's okay. But if there's something that you want to talk about me, brother, always feel free, Chris. At any given time, you're always welcome here. 100%. Yeah, you've been here for a while, Chris. And I appreciate it, man. Really do. Now we're jumping around again. Thanks, Ozark. Hey, thanks, you guys, stopping by and everything. Really amazing. It's a good day today, Gate Smasher. It really is, brother. My trapper friend. So we found out where the goon lives, Gate. Imagine. My family's in danger. So sad what they did to me. Smash that like button. Thank you, sir. Very much, you guys. Show us the photo. I've seen a devil. I'll compare. Okay. It's gruesome. It's scary, guys. It looks like you're gonna say, okay, Bruce, you what? Like you just went and facing a hole in a devil's face or something? It's very, very strange how the ears are elongated. Of course, it's a long exposure. So moving is going to get movement. It's, you know what I mean? Like long exposure for like 5 minutes, and you go like this. Like in 5 minutes, you go like this in your image. Even slower than that. And you start going up and down all angles, and then you'll get that effect when somebody's in the olden days, the weight training books, when they used to use that effect for them doing the dumbbells. Remember? They used to have that little swoosh line. Ooh, so detailed. My dad was a weight trainer. We're into weight training. Even met some weight training people Mr. Universe, a picture of my dad, really young, met Mr. Universe and became a bodybuilder himself. It's what causes death afterwards, because having a big chest and being on a respirator, well, you don't last too long and get pneumonia. Looking into my own iris begins to freak myself. Oh, be careful about that, man. Listen, ever hear of that mirrors are dangerous? I make bats appear. I was the scariest freaking thing. I saw it in the images by bringing the exposure up on the images, where I guess the bat was swooping down between me and the camera every time. I was in the room with the bat, guys. I can confirm to you, if ever you're afraid of bats, start a strobe light. I don't know anything about it, but the bat's not going to move. Obviously, that's like playing with his mind, right? No, a bat, no. So, when he senses the radar and you got the strobe light, hey boy, had the strobe light going, had the lights going. You must have seen pictures like that, right, you guys? I'd have to show you something. I will show you the devil picture. It's in my old box, and I'll go back and get it inside and show you. But, writing, have you ever seen somebody write your name in the lights and you can see it appearing? That's all done with long exposure with some cool shots. My favorite shot was to go, like, you go to Montreal where it's very, very busy and all the cars are going by, and you get a nice long exposure shot, and you see all the lights that are long, like the brake lights on a car. If you take a long exposure shot as it's driving by, the lights will be the whole length of the road. The lights, wherever there's a light, it appears. It's pretty cool. It makes some really, really cool photography anyways. San C in the house. And, of course, I talked the whole stream. Norma C, they really do. Thanks. It's you too, San C. Thanks for being here, guys. I love you guys so much. Thanks, Darla. Yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff in images, and that woman, I'm thinking now, that was taking pictures. I don't know if she was proven fraud or not. I don't think she was. I think they did say that it was the camera, but she was taking pictures and there were people appearing, like a spaceman appearing. I'm sure you've all heard of this. It's a woman that was taking pictures, and everywhere she would take pictures, dead people or whatever, not necessarily dead people, but people that were not in the image would appear there. Like in a park one day, and you saw a spaceman on the top of the hill. Looked a little corny seeing a spaceman in his suit like it was the Jetsons. And ever notice how people are faking? Go back in 1940s and look at the UFOs they show. The UFOs look like 1940 trucks, jagged angles, Then we get into the future now, where all the cars and trucks are all aerodynamic, and they put them through those machines to get the smoke to see if they're aerodynamic, right? Well, now UFOs are round and aerodynamic. It's funny how they follow our technology. So maybe some of those UFOs are definitely human made. Thank you, Cam. We have some fun. Let me scroll down here. Cosmic Black. I opened up a portal when I was 11 years old. And I asked God for me to be a doorway. I never understood how come I had asked that. Well, I understand why I was asking it, because it was for my dad. Okay. It wasn't because I wanted to see the spirit world. I wanted to see my dad. Me in my head, it was my dad in the spirit world. There wasn't going to be anyone else there bothering me, but there were. And I did open a portal to the point where my mother, we don't go to church on Sunday, but we have much respect for God, and we're a researching family. Like I do now, I update all the time, like we all do. And we got somebody to come to the house to get rid of, to see the portal. Anyways, long story short, after many years, I looked at the book that guy had, that my mom had, or something like that, and I looked on it, and lo and behold, if I'm not dreaming this, there was a Freemasonic sign on the book. But that guy went into our home to close a portal, and it was real. There was a door open, because get this, guys, I was in my room screaming, "Hello, Kaliko Don. How's it going, sister?" I was screaming my head off to my mother, which was okay. My head was on the wall. My mother was at the wall where my feet were. They weren't touching the wall, but I'm not that tall. A small kid's room, big enough, 10 by 11 or something, not that big, 9 by 10, whatever. Inside of the room, screaming my head off. Mom, come here. I was mad, banging on the wall. I couldn't get out of bed because all these tall motherfuckers were around me, and they scared the shit out of me. And I couldn't see any of their eyes or mouth. It was just blackness. But where the eyes were, the cheeks were there, but it leaned into the whole of the eye, like a not too enticing. They were scary looking. It was pitch black in my room. And in the pitch darkness, like I always did at night, saying my prayers, talking to my dad, talking to the ghosts. I've had one hell of a life. I've seen ghosts all my life. Lying on my back. And then all of a sudden, it's pitch black. But in the corner of the room, it actually started on the back of my head, the fucker going around the room, but like in banderole, like a banner, a long banner from football games. It's a long, thin rectangle banner. It just started going across the room, and I'm looking, because that's also, we didn't have any cars in the backyard. Obviously, there's no road there, but cars, when they go by, can do that. The shadow, the shadow leans and follows the wall and turns. It wasn't that. Shadow